Do you know what these strange bumps on the barrels of tanks are for? You've probably noticed a strange bump on the barrels of mostly Western tanks, those that use the L55 and L44 4.72 inches cannons. This is very characteristic in tanks like the Leopard 2, M1 Abrams or the British Challengers, even in Soviet tanks like those of the T-72 series. Like everything in tanks, this protrusion has a function, and in this case, a quite important one. This curious component of the barrel is called bore evacuators in English, or also bore evacuator or smoke extractor in our language. Its location depends on the tank model, but it is usually located near the center of the barrel. When reloading a tank cannon, a gate has to be opened that isolates the turret compartment with the cannon. When this gate is opened to remove the ammunition shell and insert a new ammunition, the cannon and the crew cabin communicate, allowing the passage of unpleasant gases, sparks of steel-ignited propellant material and other dangerous residues for the organism. These gases remain in the barrel after firing ammunition and are quite dangerous. They can cause nausea, numbness, or even temporary or permanent loss of vision. These gases can render basic capabilities useless. The crew. Also, sparks from propellant material can cause fires inside the tanks. Before, these gases would build up inside the tanks gradually without the crews realizing it. In addition, after the detonation of a propellant charge inside the cannon, there are usually still active propellant particles. It's dangerous for these to enter the crew compartments because when mixed with oxygen, they can easily detonate, obviously potentially injuring the crew. The solution to all these problems was very simple: the smoke extractor. Its operation is quite simple, and it works in a very similar but not identical way to a silencer for conventional weapons. It consists of a chamber that covers the barrel connected by several holes. When a round is fired, the propellant charge ignites and explodes, generating high-pressure gases. When they pass through the smoke extractor, a large part of these gases are trapped inside the smoke extractor chamber and are retained by the gases that continue to push the projectile. Once the projectile exits, the pressure in the barrel returns to atmospheric pressure, creating a siphon effect, causing gases retained in the smoke extractor chamber to violently exit towards the muzzle, pushing with them any residue that may have remained inside the barrel. Commonly, we can see this burst of gas coming out of the barrels after the passage of the projectile, this characteristic burst of smoke that we can see after each shot being a quite spectacular effect. As you can see, the smoke extractor is quite useful and simple. It has no moving parts and is just a chamber connected to the barrel by holes. Of course, it is carefully designed to work. There are tanks that solve this problem in more complex ways but just as effective. For example, the French Leclerc uses a system that uses the overpressure of an internal compartment to expel the gases. But the intention of this system is to remove any residue from inside the barrel, and in fact, this system was inherited from captured German tanks from World War II. The first system used to remove gases from the barrels was invented for the German Panzer V Panther. After World War II, many of these captured tanks were given to the French to re-equip the French army with armored vehicles, and French designers copied this technology for their tanks and for their self-propelled artillery pieces. And the T-14 Armata, in these tanks, the barrel and the crew cabin are not connected. So really the ICASES problem is not a problem. Something curious about smoke extractors is that they are not exclusive to tanks. For example, we can see it in a wide variety of self-propelled artillery pieces like the 75 types or the Mon 109 Paladin with 155mm cannons. It is also seen in a large number of ships.